Hi. I had a dream last night that summarised like huge swathes of my life into metaphors. Yeah, I had quite a disturbed afternoon, and then this dream was so vivid. It was how I woke up this morning. Tell you a wee bit of because it wasn't just a normal day. I had a great morning. Been followed the doctor's advice and cut my fluoxetine down to 1 pill a day, and then it took a couple of days for that to wear off because it's a slow absorption medication. So everything was normal. I was still smoking my absolute minuscule amount of marijuana. But then I took a hit like mid morning, just like 1/2 of a gram in my little vape, and oh my god, it blew the socks off me, but not in a good way. Yeah. So in terms of the fight against the marijuana, I've won because I'm back off that stuff. I don't even know why I was messing with it. I think it's just the habit of 20 years, man. I just can't let it. I just struggle to let it go, even though it's making me feel like crap and it's stopping my medication from working. But the collision between cutting the pill down to 1 and then having that tiny wee hit, and then I think I was like crashing, and the crash off fluoxetine is pretty horrible. It's like getting yanked by the back of the head towards the floor. It's like vertigo. You go dizzy, your eyes kind of roll, you go, ugh. Then you have to breathe yourself awake, so it's pretty rough. And then you add a bit of cannabis, which is like the sideways psychoactive thing. So you get I was getting like the droop of cutting the fluoxetine, but then I was getting like insane paranoia to accompany it, which was just absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it was a lovely afternoon I had for like 6 hours, thinking I was dying and everything, man. It was rotten. But I just looked at it like it was like I had come down with an illness, and I just had to ride it out. And I rode it out, and it was horrible. Just waves of fear and existential dread. Yeah, it was pretty mad. Yeah, far out with the closest. Like I've took a lot of shit in my life. Closest that I could compare it to is like ketamine. Like that kind of just slightly hallucinogenic slump. Or another substance that you could possibly compare it to is methamphetamine. It's a mad research chemical that I got my mitts on like 10 years ago. Methamphetamine. Yeah, it's the devil trip. Me and my pal Mark called it. He actually boofed it. He took a line of it and then put the rest of it up his butt, and then fell backwards into a pit, which is pretty much what it does to you. It's the most rottenest trip in the world. It's the worst experience. Just so yeah, the crash off the fluoxetine and then having a wee bit of the psychoactive THC was a lot like one of the worst drug experiences I've ever had in my life. Yeah, it's pretty wild. So that's what happened. That's what happened in the afternoon. But in the morning, I was watching a true crime documentary, like some sort of middle-aged woman. The psychological profile, Theodore Bundy, that mad guy that all the slasher films are based off. Like he kept killing very young women, and then he kept escaping for jail. And then his final act was to invade a dorm room, like that crazy guy in America that just did it like 5 years ago. Went a spree in a university dorm room. So that's pretty wild. So this is all setting up for the dream that I had. Yeah, so So in the dream I was in Nottingham City in England, and I was trying to travel through Nottingham, but it was like I lived there. I'd been there for a while. Strange. It was like strange. Of course, it was strange. It was a dream. Yeah. So I was living in Nottingham, but there's places in Nottingham that were new. Like there was grand canals. It was like ancient Egypt in places. Just you'd come out of a housing scheme, and then you'd be in a beautiful, like a water street, and then it was kind of like Venice with the water buses taking you around the city, and just a magnificent architecture. But for some reason, all the architecture in my dream was all grand sandstone. Just probably a lot like any city, Glasgow, Edinburgh, and even the smaller towns. Victorians were mad for the sandstone. But I went to a relationship therapist with my partner in the dream, and the relationship therapist convinced me to leave her. And then the relationship therapist seduced me. And then I refused to go any further with the relationship therapist. Like, we were at doors, and yeah, she threw a cell at me. Like, so, it was so real. I could feel her. I could taste her breath. And I stepped back. I pushed her off me. But it was like she was some sort of sexual creature. Like something had changed in her. Like that film Species. I escaped that situation, and then I was with an old friend for school, and I had a kitchen knife on me, but no like a scheme kitchen knife that's for a big stabber. This was one that is like a proper chef one with the hooked nose and then the sharp edge there, like a proper chopping knife. And I was trying to cross the road with my friend. My friend disappeared because I was like, I had to take this knife somewhere. But the crossing guard was a young guy, and he was really upbeat, and he kept locking eyes with me, and I couldn't escape him. I couldn't escape his gaze, and he was reading me. It's probably because everybody in your dream is you. So he kept looking at me and no letting me evade. And then he came towards me, and he was friendly. He just wouldn't let me evade. And then he leaned in and came into my comfort zone, and then pulled the kitchen knife out of my jacket. And then he's like, "What's this then?" And then I was just transporting it from A to B, like this. And I was like, "Yeah," and I've got the knife sharpener here, but the honing steel had melted in my pocket. So it came out and it was like a figure of 8. And he's like, these two don't comply. This isn't an excuse. Yeah. It was like in my twisted dream logic, if you have a baseball bat and a baseball, you don't get done for having a baseball bat. I was like, I've got a sharpened steel for my kitchen knife. But it was tangled up in an infinity sign. It was the oddest thing. So all the strange events speak to big events that have happened in my life, every single one of them. But just like the dream narrative version, the technicolor twisted version, where I'm lost, I'm confused. you're just being swept along in it, out of control, playing a part that you don't want to play, and then others play their roles and mess with you. But so I think that I noticed in the Ted Bundy psychological profile was really interesting. He was a lot like me. Like, this is self-aggrandizing and uplifting stuff, but the way that people described him as a young man was a lot like me. Like, I'm not saying I'm Ted Bundy, because I have the ability to feel emotions and have empathy and guilt and stuff. So I'm not like him, but the building blocks for building him were in me, like the feeling of detachment, wanting to possess things that he can't have. Like, I don't pick up social cues. I don't have normal. Like, back then, I never had normal social restraint. Like a child, like a bad boy, like a broken man. Cause he the key things in the psychopathy profile is the grandiosity and the determination to win in the short term, when a long sight, when a long plan. Like, all matters is winning temporarily and being great, seen as great temporarily in that moment, and then nothing else. No considerations really given to anything else in the psychopath mind. I felt a lot like him up to a point, and that probably says a lot about me. Like, we all have degrees of it. I've compared myself to Bob Iger, the black-eyed adder. I compared myself to him, and now I've compared myself to Theodore Bundy. With his heartbreaking isolation and loneliness that he felt, and his inability to connect. It's just a funny old combination of things that happened yesterday, and then it was finished off with a madcap dream about wandering the streets of sin, and being confronted by a version of myself that wouldn't let me evade its eyes, and literally disarmed me. Yeah, it's pretty metaphor heavy thing. So yeah, I thought I'd just come on here and have a yap, since I'm not smoking any marijuana ever again. And I need to fill my evenings now. Please hit like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Peace out.